God can use.
Say something God can use.
Speak the words of life.
Say something God can use. The word of miracle for you. When we speak, we have power. When we speak, we have the power of life and death. What we say really matters. What we say, the word of miracle for you. Say something God can use.
Speak the power, y'all.
Say something God can use.
Say something God can use.
Say something God can use.
Speak the words of life.
Say something God can use. The word of miracle for you. When we speak, we have power. When we speak, we have the power of life and death. What we say really matters. What we say.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another conversation with Kelly. I am your host, Kelly, and I am so glad that you took this time out of your busy Sunday afternoon, whether you just came from church or just came from eating that soul food Sunday dinner. And by the way, somebody send me a plate because I haven't eaten yet. But anyway, I am glad that you chose just to eavesdrop in on this conversation. It's going to be lit. It's going to be laughter. It's going to be a whole lot of inspiration. So get your pens and paper ready. I always say that, but this one, you really will need to take some notes. My guest is such a inspirational person from day one. Her smile, her laugh, but most importantly, her sincerity about empowering lives is contagious. Today's topic is called Going from Being Stuck to Strong. I can relate to being in many situations where I felt stuck. And the definition, according to Merriam-Webster, they describe stuck as being jammed, positioned in a place, and difficult to dislodge. And so I was in a place where I had some difficult things that I had to dislodge from my heart, from my thought process, from my words, my actions. And then one day I decided, okay, I no longer want to be that way. I want to be free. I want God to use me in a way that He chooses. But I was holding myself back because of being stuck in that mindset. And guess what? Every time you're in a situation that you feel stuck, you are one decision away from being strong. So one decision from going from stuck to strong. And let me tell you, Merriam-Webster describes a decision as a determination arrived after consideration. So after you contemplated thinking about making better choices, moving away from friends who don't want to go anywhere, they're negative family members, you will be surprised at the freedom that you will find. So do me a favor, like, comment, share, most importantly, subscribe. We have had some awesome power-packed guests, and we have some more coming up, and you don't want to miss it. And by the way, also holler at me in the comments. Let me know who is watching and where you are watching from. And as I always say, if you shout out to me, I will shout back out to you. So ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited. I'm going to bring her on. This is a what do I call you? A hope pusher,
Hope dealer. Hope
hope
dealer.
dealer. She deals hope and inspiration, just like just giving it away, like just free money, just giving it away. You cannot leave this lady's presence without being inspired in some way, whether it's a smile, whether it's words of affirmation. But I am so glad, and we have been talking about you being a guest for how long now, ma'am? Long
Probably
time.
since inception. Since inception, I believe.
That's been a couple years ago. But busy schedule. But nonetheless, God saw fit that you could do it on today. So I am so honored to introduce to you Miss Natasha Bush. She is the founder of Girls Who Rule the World, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And Hope and Chances LLC. So, Natasha, welcome. Woo! We are connected again, ma'am.
Finally.
Yes. And I will let people know I met you when I first started working at WorkFaith.
Yes.
And they assigned me to work at the downtown location.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the coach that was there, assigned to that location. And we have memorable moments. Woo!
You know what I do? What I do remember is that we became very fast friends, Kelly.
Yes,
And so
yes,
that's always
yes,
a great sign of kindred
yes,
spirits, right? And
yes,
so that is something that anytime I think about you, anytime I reflect back on our time at at the Travis location, that is something that always comes to mind. We became fast friends, and
yes.
fast forward all of these years later, we are still
Still
friends.
connected, still connected.
Yes,
That's
so
right. That's right.
very
Well, tell
thankful.
the viewers a little bit about Miss Natasha Bush.
Well, a little bit about Natasha Bush.
Yes.
And where do I start? Where do I start? So let's
I
just
know
start.
you only have how many jobs? Like,
I
just
know,
a couple.
I know. So let's try to isolate what is relevant to what we're going to talk about today. And so I'm just going to go back to when we met. And so my career at that time was coaching.
Mhm,
Coaching
mhm.
individuals into employment. And so that is
Yes.
something that
Yes.
that I love to do, and I still do a form of that today through group coaching. And so I tell people anytime I'm explaining about or sharing who I am a workforce development strategist. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
what I get a chance to do, because it's a blessing to be able to do what I do, and it's go around the city and the state, just influencing individuals who may be in transition. And
Yes.
what that looks like is that could be an organization who works with individuals who may have been recently released from prison,
Mhm,
particularly or specifically females, women. But I
mhm.
do work with men as well. I also work with organizations in strengthening their coaching department. And so that's something that I do. And it's very near and dear to my heart with me initially being a coach. And so that is what I think is most important to know about me, that my purpose is to encourage, to motivate, and to remind people who are looking for work or looking to
Yes.
rebuild themselves, is that there is still an opportunity out there for you. And as a matter of fact, there's probably more options for you on the table than you ever considered. And so I'm just the person that reminds you or gets a chance to remind you through organizations to remind you of that. And so that's what I think is important for me to share.
I love it. Love it. And I came to work at WorkFaith after being at a organization for 15 years,
Mm.
being stuck.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And long story short, God just unfolded the key strategies that I needed, mainly confidence, because I was in that 15 years of, Lord, I can, I want to, I really want, I know I can do better, but how?
But how?
And long story short, I ended up there, and I can tell you all honestly, you are really truly one decision away from moving from where you are to where you want to be. Because all I had to do was just first recognize I had the wherewithal, I had the confidence, I had the knowledge, I had the experience. I just didn't know how to sell myself.
Didn't know how to sell yourself.
I
And
did
so
not know how to sell myself.
one of the things, and we're going to get to I'm sure we're going to get to the book, but one of
Yes.
the reasons behind me writing the book, From Stuck to Strong, was my own personal story, Kelly. I
Mhm.
worked in a human resource department for many years, many years. I normally
Mhm.
don't share the years because it dates me. I normally tell people, don't let the hair dye fool you. I am at a big age these days, but I worked in a human resource department, and I had some success in that human resource department. I started off as the payroll administrator and transitioned into, I was the HR person for that company.
Okay. Okay.
And I had this epiphany one day. I should be doing more. I should be doing more with my
Yes.
life. I should
Yes.
be doing more with my skills. I
Yes.
believe that this knowledge that I have could be extremely impactful in people's lives. And so, how do I make the transition? That is what I dealt with for a year, just kind of going back and forth. And so I decided to leave the company. They didn't let me go, or they didn't terminate me. I wasn't unhappy. I still love my supervisor today, and it was a great company. They're still in business today. I just decided that it is something else that I know that I am called to be doing.
Yes. Yes.
Decided to leave and resigned. And a year later, I was unemployed. I had not worked since I left that company.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I do and how do I do it? I'm
Mhm.
trying to get my
Mhm.
foot into the nonprofit world. No
Mhm.
one wants to hire me because I'm coming out of corporate America, and I felt stuck. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't
Yes.
know, how to move myself forward. But this is what I believe happened to me. I prayed about, God, if this is not for me, if moving into the nonprofit arena, if this is not for me, then shut all the avenues, shut them
Yeah.
down, shut them down.
Yes.
And
Yes.
open up avenues for me to return back into human resources, something that I had been doing. From that prayer, a week later, I met a young man. I had never met him before, knew nothing about him. I was actually at a job fair type of event, and I'm walking around the job fair event making notes of what I would do differently if I
Okay.
was still in human resources and if I was
Okay.
there sharing
Okay.
about my previous company. Run into this young man. I start to tell him where I previously worked and what I did and what I'd like to do, what I feel I was called to do now. He said, "You know what? Pass me your resume." He said, "Give me a copy. Have you heard of this organization?" And the organization happened to be WorkFaith. And I said, "Well,
Wow.
vaguely, I've heard about him vaguely." And he said, "I know somebody at WorkFaith. I think you would be a great fit for this organization." I gave
Wow.
him my resume. I didn't think much about it. I didn't know this guy. I didn't think much about it. People tell you things like that all the
Right.
time,
Right.
and
Right.
nothing,
Right.
nothing comes out of it. Anyway, a couple of days later, I get a phone call from WorkFaith setting me up for an interview, and the rest is history. Next thing I know, I'm meeting Kelly Spencer. I'm an employee. But what I learned through that year, or a little over a year, is that there are things that you have to go through. I just believe you have to
Yes.
go through when you're in transition. And that is what was happening to me. I didn't know it at the time, but I was
Mhm.
in transition. And
Mhm.
so understanding that I should have been, and something I say to people all the time, that I should have been affirming myself every day. I should have been reading my word every day.
Yes. Yes.
I should have been
Yes.
upskilling myself during those
Yes.
months.
Yes.
I should have been networking with people in the field that I wanted to work in, not the field that I came out of.
Out of. Yes.
I should have been going to association meetings for nonprofit organizations. And I should have been volunteering at that time for nonprofit because that is the field that I wanted to work in. If
Yes.
I would have been doing just a couple of those things, I probably would have been working in 90 days or less versus it taking me 13 months to find employment.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I was feeling stuck in that moment, it reminded me today or a couple of months back that I'm not the only person that has ever felt like that. Right. And if I would have known some of that information, I could have shortened my unemployment time. And so as
Yes.
I'm talking to people every day, I'm sharing this type of information. And I just thought it would be a good idea, or how impactful would it be if I could put this in writing and
Yes.
share it on a mass scale. And that is how the idea of Stuck to Strong, because I feel as though I'm in a very strong position at this time in my life.
Mhm.
And that is how the birth of Stuck to Strong actually came to be. So, yeah.
I love it, and I can't wait. We're not going to give it all away because we want you to buy the book.
All right.
But do you see yourself ever doing one-on-one coaching again? I know you said you do like work with corporations and help them enhance and improve their coaching departments and other organizations. And, what about one-on-one?
So you should never say never, right? Never say never.
Right.
Right now in my life, I don't see one-on-one coaching aligning to where I think God is taking me.
Okay.
So I don't see that for my life right now.
Okay.
But because coaching is so embedded in me, one-on-one coaching is embedded in me. I will always advocate for one-on-one coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I will always encourage and motivate individuals that they should have a coach. If you're looking for work, if you're trying to figure out what is the next best move for you, if you're trying to accomplish anything in life, you should be working with a coach or a mentor. You should have that person on your team.
Absolutely.
So I will always advocate for that. But as for me personally, Natasha Bush, I don't see that for me. And I'm asked this question quite a bit, but I don't see that for me right now at this time in my life. I think I'm more of a cheerleader for organizations who offer coaching and for individuals who offer personal coaching.
Gotcha.
Great question.
And I just recall, I would say 90%, 95% of your clients that you would coach, they didn't want to go to anybody else. They wanted Natasha. Remember when they started, you were the primary, and then after a certain amount of time, they were bridged over.
Absolutely.
They were like, no, I'm not going. I'm staying with Natasha. Not just because you were helping them with job readiness or job preparedness, but you also gave them life skills, coaching them through life's ups and downs and how to navigate, finding a house or, dealing with and being in an abusive relationship. How do you get out of it? Helping them with resources and you need clothes. Okay, well, here's a place where you can go that they'll give you some clothes. So
I am a self-proclaimed resource broker, Kelly Spencer. You should know that about me. I don't think I have ever met a resource that I did not like or a resource that I did not think was valuable. And so
Yes.
I've just
Yes.
made a practice of when someone introduces a resource to me, because I am such a resource broker, resources
Yes.
just seem to find me. I actually keep a list of resources because I know I'm going to run into individuals who's going to need to utilize some type of resource, and I want to be able to have that on hand. I want to be able to have that.
Absolutely.
And so I think that you're right. I think that's what it was as far as the transitioning to what we called at that time. I believe it was secondary coaching.
They're coaching.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
so I think the clients were so hesitant to leave me because they thought I'm going to leave my resources or I'm going to leave my
Yes.
avenue to
Yes.
resources. And so,
Yes.
yeah, that was always an interesting time. And even to this day, I still meet people. I just met a young lady through a program, and she said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "Your face looks so familiar to me." And she said, "You actually coached me back in 2017 through Work Faith." And I'm like,
Wow.
"Are you? I knew your face looked familiar to me."
Wow.
And so
Wow.
she said something, and I know this is something I say all the time. She said, "I remember you telling me it doesn't matter what the atmosphere is in the room.
Mhm.
It does not matter. Because when I
Mhm.
come in the room, I
You
change
change it.
the atmosphere." And I said,
Yes.
"Well, yeah,
Yes.
that sounds like
Yes.
something that
Yes.
I would say, because I still say something similar to that today." But yeah, still run
And
into individuals.
that's why I said it could be just a smile, just your presence. I mean, you just elude confidence and inspiration. I mean, it's just in you.
So I don't know about that is a wonderful thing to say. Thank you so much.
But it's
Eluding
true. It's true. It's
uh,
not. I don't have to make it up. It's
you
true.
have to make it. So I do believe that what, and I share this a lot too. I do believe what people see when they see me. I think they see God's light on my life,
Yes.
because I have
Yes.
went through, as
Yes.
most people
Yes.
who live long enough, I have went through so many ups and downs. And God has just brought me out, and I have overcame in situations that I look back and I don't know how, except it had
Him.
to be
Mhm.
him. And I think
Mhm.
people see that. They see that on my life. They feel that when
Mhm.
I am engaging with them. And so it radiates through me. And I think that is what people see when they say, "Oh my God, you're a ball of energy," or you have a good personality, or you make me feel a certain way. I really believe, and I say it constantly, I think it's the light, God's light on my life. I think that's what's so appealing and attractive to people, or at
Yes.
least that's what was attractive when I was coaching. Yes.
Yes. Now we talk about the job being one area where you could feel stuck. Give
Hmm.
us a couple of example of some other situations that could make us feel stuck.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things I'm noticing a lot today is in the older demographics
Mhm.
needing to return back to work. And so, one
Mhm.
of the things that I've noticed is that the 55 plus community feels very stuck. Ageism is extremely real and alive and well today. And so, just aging and still needing to be
Yes.
financially independent, still needing to
Yes.
work to provide for yourself. Those are reasons that individuals feel stuck today. Uh, single
Mhm.
parents feel very stuck today. Being a parent today is totally different than it was being a parent
When
30
we were
years
growing up.
ago.
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, when we were growing up, it's a little longer than 30 years ago, Kelly. But it's different. It's totally different than 40 years ago, right? Totally
Yes.
different than
Yes.
25
Yes.
years ago. And so
Yes.
I meet a lot of individuals that feel very stuck in their life because they're having such challenges when it comes to parenting, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
just trying to be successful today, because success looks different for everybody, right?
Everybody. Mhm.
And so a lot of individuals are feeling stuck because they can't be as successful as
The
their neighbor.
next. Mhm. Mhm.
And so I'm running into a lot of individuals that are feeling stuck because they don't have the success that they feel they should have, but they're basing it on what somebody else
Right.
has, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
constantly having to remind people that feeling stuck could look different for each and every one of us, but the practice to become unstuck is pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. Have a clear idea of where you want to go.
That's
That's where
that's one. That's one.
that's
Yes.
where it
Yes.
starts for all of us, having a clear
Yes.
idea of where
Yes.
we want to go and to be able to see yourself there. That's the
Yes.
next thing. From
Yes.
that moment that you can see yourself there, now start thinking about, so what is it going to take for me to get there?
We get there. That's right. That's
I
right.
just shared this the other night. I said, hearing the word no, I think is a good thing. I didn't always feel that way, but today, because I'm strong, right? I feel like hearing the word no is such a powerful tool for people who are stuck. Here's what hearing the word no can do for you. No allows you to reevaluate where you are at that moment.
Oh, wait,
And
wait, wait, wait. Stop. Rewind. Okay. Say that again. It
hearing the
allows.
word no
Uh-huh.
allows you to reevaluate where
Yes.
you are at
Yes.
that current moment.
Somebody need to put that in the chat. Yes.
That's a
Yes.
gem. That's a gem.
Yes.
Uh, the next thing hearing the word no can do for you, regardless of why or how you found yourself stuck, is it will help you have a clear idea of what your next move needs to be. So the
Ooh,
next time
like that.
someone tells you no, don't get frustrated. Don't start to feel overwhelmed. Don't start to think I can't have it, whatever it is.
Yes.
Understand that that no is fuel for you. That no now allows you to understand, okay, this is where I am. Here's what it's going to take for me to
Yes.
get where I want to go. And now here's the things that I need to do to actually get there.
And I'm taking notes, by the way. Yes.
And so those are just some of the gems. That's what I call them, gems, valuable information. Some of the gems that I am dropping in the book.
I
So the
love
book
it.
talks the book talks about hearing the no and you thinking next, because that's something else that no should do for you. When you hear
Yes.
no, when they say no, when someone says no to you, what you should hear mentally is next. That's actually what you should hear next, because that means
Yes.
that opportunity has
Was
now
not
been
right for
closed,
you.
it wasn't for
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
and now you can move on to what's next for you.
Mhm.
And so
I
those are
told
just
you.
three. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to tell the view. I told you get some piece of paper and a pen. Instead of thinking no as a no, think of no as a next.
No is a tool.
Wow.
No is a tool.
Wow.
I want
Wow.
people to understand that. Take that away
Wow.
from today. That no is nothing but a tool, because again, it allows you to understand where you are and what you
Yes.
need to get to the next success or the next chapter or the next move for yourself. So I know you
Absolutely.
asked me, you started the question about other areas that people find themselves stuck
Stuck
in. And so
in. Mhm.
I know I've said a lot, but three areas. I just want to go back to that so no one misses that, because someone could be following your questions. Individuals that are over 55 that
Mhm.
still need to work. I find that they are feeling very stuck these days.
Mhm.
Individuals that are single parenting these days are feeling as though
Yes.
that they are actually very, very stuck. Or at least they feel as though they're stuck. They're not very stuck, but they feel
Right.
as though
Right.
they
Right.
are stuck. And then, of course, those that are in job search, those that are actually in job search,
feel
Mhm.
very stuck. It doesn't matter how many jobs you found for yourself over the years. It doesn't matter what type of career that you've
Mhm.
had in the past. Anytime you find yourself looking for work and you don't find it quickly, you don't find
Yes.
it quickly. It can feel as though it's probably the most loneliest times in your life. Even though you've
Yes.
got a job before, and it's a good chance you're going to get a job again, right?
Yes.
But in
Yeah.
the interim, can feel very lonely, and
Yeah.
individuals can tend to feel very stuck at that time
Yes.
as well.
And you hit it right on the head because you're thinking, what did I do wrong? What am I lacking? What am I mean, all of those things, can weigh heavily. And if you're not careful, it can consume you to the point where you're
Ab-
stuck in fear of,
Absolutely.
well, I can't do this. Okay, well, if I can't do it, I can learn it. So even if you don't know
Upskilling. Go ahead,
exactly.
Kelly.
No, I was gonna say even if you don't have all of the requirements, you can say, "But I can do that. I can learn." And proof positive is that you did it before on another job,
On
or
another job.
you're pregnant with your second baby. You raised the first one. I mean,
So
so
it's interesting that people feel stuck oftentimes. So it's interesting you would say that, like you feel stuck parenting, but this is not the first child, right? And so you've
right,
raised the first child, or you're raising the first child, and you've got
first
them
child,
past whatever point you're at, right? And so
right,
the idea that you can't do it, I mean, where does that come from? Because you did it before. You did it before, right?
yes,
And it's the
yes,
same with looking for work. Like you found a job before, you've been out of work before, right?
yes,
I do
yes.
think that as far as the job market is concerned, we are in a time of uncertainty. We are. And so I am not, that does not get past me. I'm very
Right,
clear on that.
right.
But I keep throwing out the word upskill. And what I
Mhm.
mean by upskilling is to learn something that is going to be of value to you.
Yes,
And so I was
yes.
just listening at a young lady who plays basketball. I was just listening at her and in an interview, and she said, "Well, the person who was interviewing her asked, so what is going to be next? What is the next job for you?" And she said, "I'm not sure because I'm the job. I'm the job." So I took that as the job is
Wow,
whatever I want it to be because
wow.
I can create work for myself. And so
Yes,
she's young and she's successful, and so that she can actually say that. She can say that, and people are going to listen to her just like I did, listen to her
yes.
and buy into that. But you know what I thought was powerful? I thought, wow, anybody can say that, and anybody can believe that. Because if you
Mhm,
are upskilling yourself, you are the
mhm,
job. You
mhm.
are. AI is coming in, technology is ruling the workforce today, right?
Absolutely.
However, if you're upskilling skilling yourself in things like AI, in things like technology, you can create job opportunities for yourself today.
That's
You can
right.
actually do that. And
That's
so
right.
you can, and that's where I got the idea from as she was talking. I'm like, anybody can say this, and it can be true, not just for her, it can be true for me or anybody
Anybody.
else.
That's right.
We
That's
can
right.
be our own job. All we
Yes.
have to do is make sure that we have relevant skills with
Mm.
whatever we're trying to do, whatever we're trying to do. And I talk
And,
about that in the book as well.
and something you said, evaluate like what you have. Okay, so maybe you're not ready for the C-suite yet, meaning this chief executive of the chief executives, whatever that
Mhm.
position may be. But what do you have right now? What can you do? Do
Right.
you have analytical skills? Do you have the type of personality that you can influence people? to come together as a group and stay on task. I mean, those are things that a CEO would have to do, would have to have. So you
So
can get
go
yourself
ahead, Kelly.
prepared for that.
No matter what you are doing currently, no matter if you have a traditional job, which traditional job
Mhm,
today is
mhm,
could be a 9 to 5, it could be a seven
mhm.
to seven because 12-hour shifts are now traditional work, right?
Right,
Working
right,
4 days out, 3 days a week is traditional work. And so you
right.
could have what's known as a traditional job today. Or you could be working for yourself. You could be cooking and selling food out of your house, selling food out of your car. You could be making t-shirts and selling t-shirts. Whatever it
Yes,
is that you are doing, it is taking
yes,
skill for you to do it.
yes,
It is taking a form of professionalism for you to do it. It is taking some type of business acumen that you have in order for you to be able to make money. So you
yes.
have to understand that you don't need a traditional job in order to have skills.
Right,
You have to
right.
just be able to transfer those skills
Those skills.
into whatever your next role is. And you need to
Exactly,
be able to build on those skills, which is where
exactly,
upskilling can come in.
exactly.
I've never met anyone who was not marketable. I've just never met anyone. And my
Mhm,
niche for many years has been working with individuals who have several challenges, not like one or
mhm,
two, but several.
mhm,
They may have a
mhm,
criminal record. On top of having a
mhm.
criminal record, they may have never worked
Addiction
before,
issue.
or they
Right,
may,
right.
yes. And so, whatever your situation is, we can actually find some skills for you. We can actually find some skills. All I have to do is talk to you and talk about your life for the last 3 or 4 years. And I guarantee you, we can find some soft skills and possibly some
Yes,
hard skills or technical skills that you
yes,
can use to put on a
yes.
resume or to discuss in an interview. So people, they don't believe me. I say it all the time, Kelly. But everybody has skills. We all do. We use them every
Absolutely,
day. So
absolutely.
yeah, I've never met a person who could not find work, but I meet people every day who cannot
You
market
know,
themselves.
and that's the key.
That is that's
That
the
is
key.
the
That
key.
keeps more people from working than anything else, not being able
Ye-
to market themselves.
Yes, yes. And one of the things everybody has giftings that are innate that God dropped in us when we came out of the womb. It's just up to us to discover what those giftings are and utilize them.
And
Because
utilize.
somebody had this brilliant idea of AI many years ago, and now look,
And now look.
AI is, like you said, taking over. But I'm sure to the people like myself who are not very techy, that's not my gifting. That no, that would not. I just have to pass. But there's something that you can do that no one else can do. There's
Right.
something that you can do that's so easy. That's like, oh, just breathing. I look at like Whitney Houston, Kim Burrell, um, any of those types of entertainers. It's effortless for them to sing because God put that inside of them. But I guarantee you, they may have challenge with technology, with
Yep.
let's say being a medical doctor, because that's
Hmm.
not the gift. So I said all that to say, find something, think of something that you do just effortlessly. Begin
Hmm.
to build and write from there because I guarantee you something there, like Natasha said, is marketable, is usable, is upscalable.
And so here's
Yes,
something I say to people all the time. It's a really good chance that someone in your inner circle has already shedded light on your gifting. They've already
yes,
told you what you
yes,
do well. They may have
yes,
said something to you like, you know what, I love coming to talk to
yes,
you because you always speak words of wisdom to me.
Yep.
Or
That
you
should be
are
ding, 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 ding.
ding,
And your
ding,
brain
ding, or you're so patient with me, or you're so patient with children. So they're already telling you, or you're very hands-on, or you're very
yeah,
mechanically inclined.
yes.
People will tell you what your
Yes.
gifting is. Here's what I think it boils down to is that we don't believe them. We don't believe that we can be a person with a gift. We
Mhm.
definitely think somebody else can. Yeah,
Yep.
we can see other people. We're quick
Yep.
to acknowledge other
Yep.
people's gifts, but we
Yep.
don't think we deserve to have a gift for ourselves. We don't believe
Yes.
that. We don't believe that. And I think that's why it is very difficult for many people to recognize and identify what their gifting actually is because they don't believe it. But if you just think back, and I'm talking to you guys out there, not Kelly, if you just think back to a time when someone told you that you did something well, and then think
Right.
about how many
Right.
other times have you actually heard that?
The exact same
Other
thing.
people have
Yes.
said the
Yes.
exact same thing to you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that area, whatever that is for you, that's an
Yes.
area of gifting. I say this all the time. If you are a great cook and people tell you, I love eating your food, cook me something, invite me over, send me something, you should be cooking and selling food. It's just that
Yes.
simple. If you
Yes.
are a person who organizes, like your bath towels are all color coordinated in your bathroom, all the vegetables in the cabinet are all alphabetized, you are a natural organizer.
Yes.
You should be marketing that. If you
Yes.
are a person who love to speak in front of people, you speaking over at the church, people invite you to things to open up for them and say something or come up and say something nice about the event or the person. You are a person who should be speaking.
Yes.
People will identify what your gifting is. You just have to believe that you're actually good at it. You have to believe that. That's on you. That's
That's
not
right.
on anybody else.
That's right. And
Mm.
now we don't have an excuse because in my generation, when we had to research something, we had to get up out of our bed, go to the library, get encyclopedias. Yes, I'm dating myself, encyclopedias. Y'all don't know
I'm
what that
with you,
is.
Kelly. Same generation.
Uh, Now you just go to Google and type in AI. You could see tons of YouTube how to do this, how to create a PowerPoint presentation, how to record meetings. I mean, just anything you can think of. There's no reason for you not to be able to sharpen those skills.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
no reason.
No reason at all. I have a life empowerment class at night, actually, two, during the
Okay.
week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so we actually refer to one another in that class as investigators. They're investigators. So, as the facilitator, that is how I address them, investigators.
As
And what that
investigator.
means,
Okay.
investigators, that means that they have the ability to research and find out any type of information their heart's desire. Something I
Okay.
say every class is that if you can think about something, if you can think about it, just imagine what anything, you ought to be
Mhm.
able to type it into Google, type it into one of these AI programs like a Chat
Yes.
GPT or one of these
Yes.
other ones,
Yes. Yes.
and read up on what it is that you're thinking about, how it could be impactful to you, and
Yes.
what do you need to upskill yourself
Yes.
on it.
Yes.
Whatever it is. I'm not a mechanic, Kelly, but I feel like I could possibly at least Google how to fix a car if I wanted to.
You really could. I guarantee you there are tons and tons and tons of YouTube videos how to change a
How,
tire, how to
how
check the
to,
radiator, how
how to, how
yes.
to. And
And
so
but
every,
wait, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Even just the how to creators, content creators, they're
mhm,
making money just telling you how to do it.
just
They're not
telling you
doing
how to
it.
do it.
They're just telling you how to do it. and
So
making
they're
money.
reading up on it. They're reading up on it and then coming
Yes.
back and telling you and then charging you to tell you. Yeah.
J-
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
So, uh,
anybody can do it. Anybody can be an investigator. And at this point in the culture or the economic culture that we are
that
in
we're
today,
in. Mhm.
everybody should be an investigator. Every person, and every person should
Yes,
be looking at how do I
yes,
upskill my current skills.
yes. And I was just going to say, you guys better be glad that this is virtual and not in person, because I would assign everybody an assignment to research something and come back
Yes,
to me
something,
with it.
and come back and report it.
And look,
Absolutely.
look, Natasha. Now, I am not an educator by profession, but I've always enjoyed giving homework out.
Me too. Me too.
So maybe that's part of the calling along the way. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. When I
But
was 5 years old, I thought I was going to be a teacher, and for many years, I thought I was going to be a teacher. And I think, even though I've never been a teacher, and that's not going to happen, but I do. I've taken. Let me say this: I've taken that thought process of teaching because I believe that everyone should investigate, and then there should be homework. There should be
of
no
course,
job search. I say
of
this
course,
all the time.
of
There,
course.
if you are looking for work and you're having a difficult time finding work, one of the number one things that I would suggest you change or at least add to your strategy is start to research the industry that you are looking to find
Yes,
work in, research the
yes,
role that you are
yes,
looking to find work in.
yes,
Look, research, is
yes.
this going to be an industry that is going to be in demand in the next 5 to 10 years?
Or is it
And
going to be
so,
obsolete? Right,
or is it
right,
going to be obsolete? Absolutely. And you can actually look up that type of information. And so
absolutely.
I am a firm believer that homework is healthy. Homework is healthy. That's the teacher in me.
Homework is healthy. I'm gonna use
Homework
that.
is healthy.
Homework is healthy. But Natasha, we talked about job search as some place where you're stuck. I just want to reiterate, you can have the career of your lifetime or your the career of your dreams. You could have everything in your life in order except one thing. Everybody has that one thing that if you're not careful, like I said, it could turn into fear, which will really keep you stuck and frozen. So it could be going through relationships. It could be physical, mental abuse. It could be so many, a divorce. It could be death of a loved one. All of these things could have you feeling stuck. But what I hope you're gleaning is not just the doing homework in terms of job search. Yes, that's required and important, but also how do you get from being stuck from grief?
Mm.
Guys know for years, I think the last 2 or 3, I know for sure. I do the conversation grieving through the holidays.
Mm.
How do you go from holiday to holiday? Because grief is a process and it may not be the same for everybody, and you can't say, oh, well, your mother's been gone now a year, you're fine. It could take 10,
Mhm. Mhm.
it could take 20, and it doesn't mean that it's an unhealthy grief. It just means that it's a love that's now no longer present. And so
Mhm.
that's something that you have to learn how to not be stuck in terms of getting rid of the memories, but allowing yourself to live and move forward.
And move
Um, and
forward.
move forward. Yes,
I
ma'am.
do talk about I talk about the bees of life, which is building and breaking, building and breaking. And
Building
so
and
here is
breaking.
something that building and breaking. And so something that that's in the book as well is about putting habits in your life. Uh,
Hmm.
and so
Hmm.
if you are dealing with personal trauma, because so many of us are dealing with personal trauma, we've
Yes.
developed habits. We've developed
Yes.
habits around those personal traumas. And so,
Yes.
something I talk about in the book is recognizing what your habits are. And we have habits that we are very conscious of, and
And
we have
some,
habits that we are unconscious of. So
yes,
being mindful about your habits so that you
yes,
can become intentional about breaking the ones that are not good for you, that have not served you well, and you can
yes,
start building habits that will help you and lift you and comfort you. And
absolutely.
that's if you are dealing with any type of trauma, because again, trauma is something else that looks different for each and every one of us.
Hmm.
And no one can tell you when you should have been able to process trauma. No one can
And
say
get
that
over it. Right, right,
and be
right.
over it. Right? We live in a microwave world, and people think that you're supposed to get over, just be able to get over things and get over them quickly, right? But if you've lived long enough, then you realize that that just does not happen. But
Right,
what you can do is start to recognize, like, what are my habits around this grief? What are my
yes,
habits
yes,
around feeling stuck?
yes,
And
yes.
whatever those habits are, and you're not going to break them overnight because you didn't build them overnight,
Create
right?
the love. Exactly, exactly.
So my suggestion, and the book talks about gradually rebuilding positive habits in your life that are going to help you,
Yes,
that are going to comfort you, that are going to lift you, that are going to make you feel safe and
yes,
secure. And so
yes,
that is something that I felt very necessary for a book that talks about new beginning, because this book, on the book, which they'll see, it has an 8 on the front of the book. And I don't address the number 8 as like physically saying, oh, this is 8 years, or eight the number 8 means something, but I do
right.
type in new beginnings. So those of us that are faith believers, like we understand that when we see that, we know what that means,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And so
yes,
that is something that I feel very necessary to add, because when people are stuck, oftentimes they're stuck in the what was, right?
yes,
Stuck in the past. And so if you are going to break out of that, if you're going to transition into something different, if you're going to move to the next chapter of your life, you have to be open to new beginnings.
absolutely.
And so that is something that I think is important, that people really identify what my habits are, because I may need to break some of those habits that are not serving me well. And if I'm going
Yes,
to embrace new beginnings in my life, I need to look into building new habits. And you build new habits small, and you build
yes,
new habits minute
yes,
by minute, minute by minute. I mean,
yes,
we don't even think about or talk about building them week by week, because for many of us it just starts minute by minute. I'm
mhm,
going to get through the day, and I'm going to add
mhm,
this positive thing to my day in this moment, in
mhm,
this moment. And
mhm,
then maybe tomorrow we'll just see how it goes, right?
mhm,
The
mhm.
goal is to build on the day before if it was a positive day, but it may not be. It may not be. And so you might can't do the same thing that you did the day before to move yourself forward, but maybe you can add something else into your life. I do talk about of course, reading scripture, extremely important to me, and extremely
Yes,
important to a lot of people that may end up reading this book. But scripture is not for everyone. When I am talking to young girls through the We Need More Girls to Rescue the World mentor program, I'm talking about affirmations, because not all of them are ready for scripture, right?
right,
The middle school
right.
girl. And so I start them off with just affirmations. Maybe that's something that you can do when you're feeling stuck due to brokenness or due
Yes,
to some type
yes,
of trauma. And so
yes,
this book definitely has a focus on job search and feeling stuck in the world of work, but it definitely have a sprinkles all throughout the book about just being stuck in life and what moving to the next chapter or moving forward could look like for anyone who reads this book.
And speaking of the book, I will gladly show it since we kind of segue into it. It's from Stuck to Strong: Life and Job Search Skills for People in Transition. I love it, Natasha.
So here is something that not too many people know about me. Most of my family and my inner circle knows this. When I was in the sixth grade, I tell this story quite a bit. I was in the sixth grade. The schools or the districts would test us on your reading, and they would test you on your math, because those were like the most important things. And
Yes.
so I was in the sixth grade, and I tested for my reading on the fourth grade level. Fourth grade level. So I was not strong in reading at all. And so for me, the young girl who in the sixth grade who was still reading on a fourth grade level, to write a book, I just yeah, sometimes I look at the book and I just think, who would have thought? I wouldn't have. I definitely wouldn't have. And so it just shows, when God has a calling or a purpose or a gifting for you, how
Yes.
he can expand that
Yes.
way beyond anything that you could
Yes.
possibly ever imagine.
Yes.
Because I would have never imagined myself being a
As an author.
I can't even say the A word. It's just so crazy to me. I can't even say the A word, but it's really surreal for me to share with people that I have a book. The book is launching. Right, is launching in the next couple of weeks. People will be able to order it. Please check my social media sites. But it is, yeah, I can't even. I was just asked the other day. So, are you a author? Are you an author? And I said, you know what? I can't even really say the word because I do not associate that with who. I have many titles, but that has never been one that I've had, and I still don't see myself as that. But I do believe this book is exactly who I am. This book is is a tool that will inspire. This book will bring knowledge, of course. This book will uplift. This book will shed some light. This book will move people. It'll definitely move people from feeling stuck to feeling just strong about their life and strong about where they actually can go. And so yeah, I'm very excited about this book, Kelly.
I am excited for you. I, of course, just can only imagine if you are this inspirational in person, when you put your thoughts down on paper, this book is going to be fire. I already know. I already know.
Kelly, I need you as my PR person. I need you. And so it just, and I know we're at our time, but so all of these months that you and I have talked about, oh, you should be on the show. Okay, I'm going to come to the show, and it just never happened.
Never,
And so
all these years until
now.
the appointed time.
Now, to such a time as this right here. So it's just everything is aligned. Everything is lining up for me. It's just aligning with where I'm going to go. I'm going to leave with this. I talk about purpose quite a bit. And I heard Viola Davis say something, the actress Viola Davis. I heard her in an interview, and she said something, and it'll probably stay with me for the rest of my life. She said she realized that her purpose is not for her. She's like, it's not my purpose. Purpose is not what you do. It's not. And for years, I thought my purpose is what I do. She said, your purpose is what happens to people when you do what you do. And I thought, that is who I am, and that is what I want this book to be.
Wow.
Yes, this book had a calling. It did. And I believe that people are going to be blessed and inspired, and then that will be the purpose. From being strong is the purpose.
Well, ma'am, I need to call the purpose detectives, because I've always called you the purpose pusher. They can arrest you. But in all sincerity, this is just I love it when everything just kind of comes together.
Yeah.
And who would have thought all those years, all of the inspirational things that you shared just with me? I'm not talking about the clients. Well, Kelly, you should do such and such and such. And Kelly, why don't you? Just me. So you and Lois have a lot to do
Yeah.
with even this podcast because
Wow.
you remember. I think no, I think you were. Yeah, I think you were there still when we had the new CEO who challenged the admissions department. I was the manager of admissions to figure out a way to get more people enrolled in our classes.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
Mm-hmm.
brainstorming, and well, what about Facebook Live? Yeah, that's a good thing. Can we do it? Whoa, I just second the motion. I didn't raise my hand that I do it, but ended up having to start out with the first one. And then I think the coaching department did one Facebook Live for Work Faith. I think the instructors did another one. Um, each department took a turn.
Yeah, I did one. Yeah, I did one. I was employer development at that time. I did one.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
And
remember
a little light bulb, a little birdie named Natasha Bush. I don't remember word for word that you said, but it was like we were sharing something and the light bulb went off like, wait a minute. So if I could do that for work faith, what can I do for the ministry?
that. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you and Ms. Lois played an integral part. And Ms. Lois, you're the purpose pusher. She is the production pusher.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
okay, win,
Oh yeah.
win, win. And I started talking to. Did I even mention the book until it was out, or did I?
No, you didn't tell us until the book was out.
Right, right. Until the book was out, I think I told Lois. I think I mentioned something to her,
Mm.
and she said, "When are you going to do it?" I gave her the date, and she held me to it. And within the first week, it went to number one for new releases in children's books.
Wow.
I
Wow.
didn't even know. I didn't even know how to even track it. All I did was got ready to go to Amazon to copy the link so that somebody could order the book. And I went, number one, that's my book.
That's my
So I
book.
said all that to say, you can go from being stuck
Hmm.
to strong. So I hope you had the obedience to get a piece of paper and a pen and write, and you wrote down all of those notes and nuggets that she left. If not, replay. But Natasha, I know you have to go to another event. We could sit here and talk for hours and hours, and I'm not going to keep you from dealing out more hope and more purpose wherever you go next. But ma'am, please tell the viewers before we get off or in the conversation, how can they reach you? It's scrolling at the bottom.
All right, so it is scrolling at the bottom, but you can reach me on the social media sites on Facebook. I'm definitely on Facebook as Natasha Bush. I'm on
Yes.
Instagram as Natasha D. Bush. I am on TikTok as Natasha D. Bush. I am on LinkedIn as Natasha D. Bush. And so you can definitely check me out. Please check out my Facebook page for the We Need More Girls to Rescue the World. That's actually a site on Facebook as well, looking for sponsors for that for that particular mentor program for young girls, middle school girls, ages 11 to 14 years old, looking for partners who work in industries where women or the minority, and minority women are even more of a minority. And so definitely looking for that type of partnership. But again, all of the social media platforms, I am on those platforms. The book is officially launching in 2 weeks, 14 days. The book is actually launching. And so more news to come on where you'll be able to pre-order that. It'll be on my social media sites. So hope you
And
guys support the book.
make sure you tag my site
Yes,
so
yes.
that all the viewers can also say, oh yeah, that was the coach that was on the podcast, and they'll know how to reach you.
And something else I want to say real quick is that the book, one of the things I think will be great, the holidays are coming up, and we all know someone who is looking
Yes.
for work. We all know someone who's dealing with some type of trauma. We all know someone who is trying to overcome and figure out what the next chapter of their life will look like. This could be a great gift. We're always thinking about, as a people, we're always thinking about how can we help people? What can we do that will be impactful, something that will be extremely beneficial to someone who is in transition? This book will be a great gift because this book actually gives steps on how to move your life forward. So just something else to think about if you're thinking, well, I'm already working, or I'm already at a good place in my life, or things are going well for me. Well, you know what? Purchase the book and
For
gift it
someone else.
to someone
Yes.
who may not be in the same position that you are in. All right. That's all I got, Kelly. Thank
Well,
you.
Natasha, hold tight. It's been awesome conversation, and I don't see any comments or questions. But if you do have any comments or questions for Natasha, her information is still scrolling at the bottom. Please reach out to her. And as I always say at the end, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next conversation, you all be blessed. Bye bye.